Happy spring, everyone. It's Genevieve Curl, Realtor with Berkshire Hathaway out of South Lake, Texas. And you know, this time of year, we have a lot of people that are starting to think about buying a home. I want to talk today about the 5 most common home purchase fees that you should be aware of. So the number 1 fee is your down payment. You know, most buyers assume that you have to put down 20%, but in reality, that's not the case. There are so many different loan programs available to you where you can put down less than 20%. My recommendation always to my clients is talk to your lender. Let's find out what program best works for you and what you feel most comfortable with putting down on a home. Number 2, earnest and option money. Now, earnest money isn't necessarily a fee, but it is an expense, and it's a very important expense that you need to be aware of. Now, this money is typically between 1% and 3% of the sales price of the home, and that money is the money that you're going to need upon execution of a contract. And it goes into escrow, the title company holds it. It is credited to you at the closing table, applied towards your closing costs or your down payment. But this money is really what binds the contract together between the seller and the buyer. And the second one is something called option money. It gives you an opportunity to get the home inspected and the right to back out of a contract during that time. But you need to pay for that right. And so typically option period is only a few $100s. It's usually $100 for every 100,000, which is what I tell my clients. The third most common fee is closing costs. Now this can quite often be the second largest fee associated with buying a home. So it's very important for you to understand what is expected of you. Closing costs typically comprise of fees from the lender and the title company. Now I can save you 1.5% of your loan's value, up to $10,000 with closing costs, by going with my affiliated lender, PenFed Credit Union. So make sure to ask me about that. The fourth most common home buying expense may be a very common one that we don't pay attention to, and that is the cost of actually moving. You know, this can be quite costly, and I think that sometimes a lot of buyers just forget to build this into their budget. You know, understand what type of service you want when you're moving. Are you going to have them come in and pack everything up, or are you just going to have a U-Haul delivered? You know, these are things I want you to think about ahead of time so that we can factor it in to our overall budget of buying a home. Last but not least is number 5, and that is the home inspection. And in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that big of a fee. We're talking about $500+ to get the home inspected, but these are funds that you need to have readily available as soon as we go under contract. And cushion yourself to possibly have a little bit more, because who knows, we may need to have an engineer come and look at the foundation. We may need to have a plumbing leak test done on the pipes. There's a lot of different types of due diligence, and depending on the property, we may need to have some experts to come in. So just build that in and you should be good to go. So there you have it. Those are your 5 most common home buying fees that you should be aware of. Now that we don't have to be afraid and we understand what is expected of you as a buyer, here's the fun stuff. Now we can start shopping. So when you're ready to start looking to buy or sell real estate in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, please reach out to me, Genevieve Curl.